everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the third important basic connection. We are developing the chord progressions, and today we are talking about the connection first sixth. If you have watched the two previous tutorials, you are understanding what I'm doing and why I am simply talking about the connection of two simple chords, because I notice that many students have problems connecting the chords of a bigger chord progression, even if made of just 4 chords. I understood that it's definitely wiser to break it down and to build up the connections one by one. Obviously, if you are an advanced student and you already know how to connect the chords, this tutorial is not for you because you might find it very boring and too simple for yourself. Before proceeding, I want to clarify that, same as I've mentioned in the previous tutorials, by moving now from the first to the sixth, in this specific case from C major to A minor, we have 2 notes in common. We noticed in the previous tutorials that by moving to the fourth or to the fifth we have 1 note in common. By moving to the sixth we have 2 notes in common. The same story will be when we will move to the chord that is 1/3 apart. Because, as I mentioned in the previous tutorials, if you invert the sixth becomes a third. Same story if you invert the third becomes a sixth. What does it mean in practice? If I'm going from C to A, up, C, D, E, F, G, A is the 6th note, but I can go also down, doing C, B, A, going down, and is a third. Same story, you will understand if I go up to the E, for example, is the 3rd note, C, D, E, but if I go down to the E, it becomes a 6th, C, B, A, G, F, E. That's why you also should know now that by summing the intervals, the inversions of the intervals, the sum is always 9, something that you learn also if you're studying theory. Indeed, 4 plus 5 is 9, same as 5 plus 4 is 9, or 6 plus 3 is 9, or 3 plus 6 is 9. If you're interested to understand even more, you can comment and I'll be happy to help. Today, I said, we talk about the connection first sixth, and let's dive into the practical understanding of what I mean. As I said, today we have to learn how to connect the first and the sixth. I assume that you know everything about the scales and the chord progressions. In case you don't know that much, I'm leaving the link for the tutorials where I explained the foundations of the scale, how to build up a major scale and how to build up a basic chord, a basic triad. You find the link in the description below. Anyways, I'm going to play the basic form of the C major. So obviously C is the first, and we build up the chord on the first, C major, and the sixth is A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are. The A minor would be this one. We can obviously also consider the A on the other side, and would be 1 or 8, 7, 6. Why do I say 8? Because if I go down, I can intend the C as the 8th note of the scale, and I do 8, 7, 6, and indeed the A minor would be this. But now let's try to understand how many notes do they have C and A minor in common. They have 2 notes. Look, if this is C major, A minor is this. And indeed, you see that they have exactly these ones in common. Now, applying my principle, we play C major and A minor in this way, from this root position of C to this position of A minor, where you simply take the G and you move it up. Because if you take the A and you push it down, you would see it. This is A in first inversion. Yeah? Here we are. This is the way I would suggest you to play connection first sixth. For now, for those that are a little bit more advanced and are interested in exploring, they want to know different ways of connecting the chords, I can say that there is another way to connect C major and A minor, still basic, and could be the one of jumping from this root position to this position of A minor. But I wouldn't suggest to very basic students or to students that are learning from scratch a method, my method, that obviously is not only my method, I'm simply applying principles that come from centuries ago, where composers would connect the chords, always saving the position of the notes of two consecutive chords. In this way they appear in the same voice. What do I mean for voice? This one is voice number 1, for example, 2 and 3, even though the voices should be intended upside down, 1, 2 and 3. But we say, to make it simple, 1, 2 and 3, yeah? When you move to the next one, the musician 1 is still playing C, the musician 2 is still playing the E, the musician 3 will play from G, will play A. And here we are. So again, for those that want to explore, you might go from C major in this position to these. But these are things that we will keep developing in the future. That's all for today. I really hope you have appreciated this tutorial, that you are understanding everything, that finally now these connections are very easy for you. Please stay tuned, because the project is quite big. I'm going to upload many tutorials from now on. If it's the first time you are landing on my channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have liked, I would appreciate your comment and your thumb up. Don't forget to share with your friends or with people you know that like piano music and would like to develop their piano skills or the general music skills. And stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. See you in the next video. Bye.